Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention please? We would like to announce our first speaker for this evening to make a welcoming speech this evening to everyone here. Please give a round of applause and a very warm welcome to Ballarat for the Ambassador to the Republic of Croatia, Dr. Jozo Meter.
Posebno mi je zadovoljstvo pozdraviti cijenjenog gosta iz Kambere, veleposlanika Republike Hrvatske, doktora Jozu Metera.
Good evening to all of you, to Mr. Michael Ronaldson, Mr. Paul Werkins, Madam Mayor Judy Welklin, Dr. Andrew Theophanous, Honorable Don Nardella, John Gilbert, Diane Hedden, Barry Traynor, to Trevor Chapman, to Jan Howless and Dick Defegles, dear members of families Gercovich and Radishich, and my dear compatriots, members of Croatian community from Victoria. Good evening once again. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to be with you all tonight to mark the occasion of the 150th anniversary of the arrival of the first Croatians to the state of Victoria. It is also an opportunity for all of us gathered here to take a moment to remember how, in spite of the difficult periods Croatia's history, one of the main reasons our people sought opportunities elsewhere in the world, nevertheless kept alive their unending and always present desire for her freedom and independence. Following 900 such years, Croatians again have their mother country independent, sovereign and recognized by the entire democratic world. The dreams of hundreds of Croatian generations have finally been realized. Croatians are at last free to return to their country, to remain there or to leave, without infringement on their personal safety, which many were unfortunately subject to in the past. Statistics show that approximately 4 million Croats and their descendants now live throughout the entire world, and they have all made immense contributions to the development of their newfound homelands. As scientists, successful businessmen, sportsmen, etc. Even though many of them at the beginning toiled at laborious jobs in sugarcane fields up north, in quarries, farms and mines. As the Croatian ambassador to Australia and New Zealand, I am very proud of the contributions made by Croatian immigrants to the development of these two rich and beautiful countries. And I hope that many of them will, with the same energy and enthusiasm, participate in the reconstruction of another beautiful country, that of Croatia. This is a good opportunity for me to once again thank to many members of the Australian government and of the Federal Parliament, especially our good friend, Dr. Andrew Theophanous, for understanding our long-held dreams of independence and for the support you extended to us throughout the hard times. I firmly believe that he and other members of the Australian government will continue their special relationship with the Croatian community throughout Australia, and that this will be the benefit of both nations. Thank you, Andrew, and thank you to all of you gathered here today. Now, allow me to say a few words in our beloved language, Croatian. Dobra vam večer, dragi prijatelji, drage Hrvatice i Hrvati. Uistinu, ispred mene je fascinantan prizor. Vjerovatno vas ovdje ima 500, možda i više. I vjerujem da u Ballaratu se dugo nije okupilo ovoliko ljudi kao večeras. I pitanje je opet, kad će to biti? Danas sam proveo dan s vama, još ćemo se družiti i sutra do otprilike 1 sat popodne. I vjerujte mi, nije nikakvo lažiranje, nije nikakvo dodvoravanje vama svima, jer nema razloga da si dodvoravamo jedni drugima, da mi je uistinu ugodno među vama, da mi je drago vidjeti vas sve zajedno iz Ballarata, iz Melbourna, Gelonga i svih ostalih mjesta. Nemojte se uvrijediti, molim vas, ako nisam spomenuo mjesto iz kojeg su drugi došli, iz drugih mjesta. Uistinu se osjećam ponosan i kao što smo danas govorili u više navrata, možemo biti ponosni sa svim onim što je hrvatski narod, onaj u domovini, na čelu sa ljudima koji su ga vodili u onoj teškoj bitci za nezavisnost, ali i zajedno s vama, koji ovdje večeras sjedite i koji možda večeras, s obzirom da je subota, sjede na mnogo zabava diljem Australije i diljem svijeta, okupljajući se jer ste vi bili ti koji su 90. godine, 91. druge, shvatili da je to hrvatsko uistinu biti ili ne biti. I hvala vam još jedanput na tome. Nikad dovoljno zahvale za savjest i za svijest da Hrvati u stvari tada hvataju zadnji vlak za svoju nezavisnost. Hvala Bogu, uhvatili smo ga. Hvala dragom Bogu da je danas Hrvatska slobodna, nezavisna, suverena, priznata od svih. I hvala dragom Bogu da možete doći u svako doba i po svojoj miloj volji ostati ili otići, doći za stalno, doći u posjete. Ali znajte da nikada policija više neće odvesti nikoga od vas niti na ispitivanje, niti će ga pitati kakve slike u svojoj kući ima. Jer vjerujem da ste mnogi od vas to doživjeli i da su vas pitali, jer ona druga strana je imala jako dobru razvijenu mrežu među vama i znalo se i ko šta ima u kući i skoro da se znalo ko šta ruča dnevno. No, nadajmo se da su ta vremena zauvijek prošla. Hrvatska u ovom trenutku ima svojih problema. Za nekoga je vlast dobra, za nekoga nije. Demokracija sazrijeva, izbori su blizu i narod će dati povjerenje onima za koje misle da će dobro raditi. A mi ovdje, evo, veselimo se večeras s mišlju da tamo na onom našem burnom, nemirnom terenu ipak se neke stvari sređuju, čini mi se, na dulji rok. Da se smiruju oni koji su 100 godina u stvari uznemiravali sve svoje susjede, stalno pokazujući nezajažljivi apetit da zgrabe nečije tuđe. Nadam se da će im se prsti dobro opeći, ako ne odsjeći. Evo toliko, uživajte večeras, drago mi je biti među vama, nadamo se da ćemo se još ovih par mjeseci, koliko sam ja ovdje, vidjeti na nekom drugom mjestu. Hvala vam lijepa.
Very warm welcome for the President of the Australian World Congress for Australia, Mr. Ivan Shkratulja, and the President of the Australian World Congress for Victoria, Mr. Ivan Grabovac.
Pozdravite predstavnike, to predsjednike Australsko-Hrvatskog svjetskog kongresa ovdje u Viktoriji, gospodina Ivana Grabovca te gospodina Ivana Škratulju.
The Croatian community to be to its rightful place in the Australian society. They do deserve it. It is for these reasons that on behalf of the Australian Croatian Congress, I wish again to thank all of you for being here present tonight. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, dear friends, on behalf of the Australian Croatian Congress Victorian branch, I wish to welcome you to this special occasion. I hope you will enjoy tonight's program, special program aimed to recognize and highlight the immigration, life and work of early Croatians. We have obtained evidence which shows that Croatians came to this country and the state of Victoria in the mid-1800s. Therefore, the Croatians have been living and working here for about 150 years out of 211 years of European settlement on this continent. The main reason for this arrival of Croats to Victoria, as well as many other nationalities, was the gold-rich areas of Victoria, such as Ballarat, Bendigo, etc. The gold fever did not last forever, so many left, but some stayed behind. Tonight we are fortunate and privileged to have with us representatives of the Croatian pioneer families. They are members of those who stayed behind and helped with the development of Victoria and this beautiful city of Ballarat. I would like to give a warm welcome to our special guest, the members of the fifth generation Gercovich and Radisic family. As you will know, earlier today we celebrated a special event for the whole Croatian community. We proudly donated a new headstone for the Mr. Vincent Gercovich family grave. This was done in recognition of his contribution to the beginning of the Croatian community here in Victoria. I wish to thank Father Stefan Gnjeć for morning mass and blessing of the newly erected headstone. Before I conclude this short speech, I would like to inform you that this special function is an offshoot of our research and the forthcoming exhibition project at the Immigration Museum. The exhibition is entitled 150 Years of Croatian Contribution to Victoria, the Untold Story. More information displayed on the walls just halfway down the hall. Finally, let me thank you and all our special guests for their attendance, and including representatives of many other nationalities present tonight for supporting our function. This is indeed a multicultural event reminiscent of the miners' era of 1850s. Special thanks go to a large Croatian community of Victoria who come here from most Victorian cities such as Ballarat, Bendigo, Geelong, Ararat, Horsham, Wodonga and Melbourne, of course including Canberra and Sydney. The list of those who contributed to this function is exhaustive, and the organizing committee wish to acknowledge and sincerely thank all of them for their hard work. Special thanks go to Croatian Association Stjepan Radic, Ballarat, and the Croatian Radio Ballarat and Triple M. However, there's one special person who carried out the lion's share of work and who must be especially acknowledged. I would like to call up to the stage Mrs. Amanda Ponte. Dear Amanda, in recognition of your hard work, let me present you this kind, beautiful flowers for your beautiful work. Can you please tell us a few words about how did you go about this thing, how much time you spent, and anything you wish like to add? Please, thank you.
Well, once again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming, and I'd especially like to thank Stjepan Radic, Ballarat Croatian Club, for all their support and for making many new friends there, and I thank them especially. I'd also like to thank the Gercovich family for all their support, especially Stephen, Gercovich, Gay and Marjorie, who I've had a lot to do with. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the Radicic family, Dennis and his family for coming tonight, and I thank them for their help as well tonight. And thank you to all of you who come. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The menu that was used at Sovereign Hill to open Sovereign Hill. This menu that you're eating tonight is actually an original 1850s miners menu, so enjoy it. For our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you tonight, and a very big warm round of applause for him too, Federal Member of Parliament for Ballarat, Mr. Michael Ronaldson.
Thank you, Ivan. Excellency, Madam Mayor, my friend and colleague, Dr. Andrew Theophanous, my state parliamentary colleagues, Paul Jenkins, Barry Traynor, Dick DeFagley, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have a message from the Honourable Philip Ruddick, the Minister for Immigration, and I'll just briefly read that I'd like to make some personal comments, if I could have your leave to do so. Thank you. The message from the Minister reads as follows. My thanks to Amanda Fonte and to the Australian Croatian Congress Victoria for inviting me to join you in tonight's celebration of 150 years of Croatian migration to Victoria. Although I'm unable to attend, I welcome this opportunity to send my best wishes and those of the Prime Minister to members and friends of the Croatian community. Much of Australia's modern history is also the history of migration, and the contribution of the Croatian people has been significant. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate that you had a number of speeches tonight, but I would just like to make some personal comments. Andrew Theophanous was chair of the Friends of the Croatian Friendship Group. I had the privilege of being a member of that committee from the day it was first formed, and I'd like to say to you that I believe we played an extremely important part in especially the recognition of independence and the Republic of Croatia. And I'll say to you that it was a very proud moment for people like Andrew and myself, because we had fought very hard to make sure that what we wanted to be achieved was achieved. Andrew went to Croatia, and under his stewardship as chairman of that committee, I believe we achieved a great deal. Over that time, I formed a great number of friends with the Croatian community in Ballarat, and I have, it's my honour to say that I count a lot of those members of the community as friends. Over that time, I shared their pain while the fight for independence was going on, and I shared their joy when independence was achieved. It's a very great honour for me to be here with my friends tonight, and I thank you most sincerely for the invitation to join you. Thank you.
nam nikad niko uzet neće, dok je Hrvat uz Hrvata. Dok je Hrvat uz Hrvata, sunce ispred ljepše grije, iz kamena kad se grude, vinova se loza smije. Dok je Hrvat uz Hrvata, Slavonija bit će rodna, Vukovar će opet cvati i sa njime polja plodna. I neka znaju svi, bilo vrijeme mira ili rata, Hrvatsku nam nikad niko uzet neće, dok je Hrvat uz Hrvata. I neka znaju svi, bilo vrijeme mira ili rata, Hrvatsku nam nikad niko uzet neće, dok je Hrvat uz Hrvata. I neka znaju svi, bilo vrijeme mira ili rata, Hrvatsku nam nikad niko uzet neće, dok je Hrvat uz Hrvata. Hrvatsku nam nikad niko uzet neće, dok je Hrvat uz Hrvata. Hvala lijepo, thank you. Here's a little... Došli smo na tvoje plavo more, u osvit zore, u sjaju ljeta. Dala si nam svoje mirne noći, najljepše pjesme, svu ljubav svijeta. Slušali smo šapat majstrala, čuvali tajne sunčanog žala. Jer uz more kad zasvira tiho mandolina, ljubav mi nas nosi žar. Jer uz more kad zasvira tiho mandolina, ljubav mi nas nosi žar. S Bogom Dalmacijo, ljetujemo me kraj, u srcu nosim te svoj, adios, goodbye. Obalo sunčana, ti moj si cijeli svijet, adios, Dalmacijo, auf Wiedersehen. Došli smo na tvoje plavo more, u osvit zore, u sjaju ljeta. Dala si nam svoje mirne noći, najljepše pjesme, svu ljubav svijeta. Slušali smo šapat majstrala, čuvali tajne sunčanog žala. Jer uz more kad zasvira tiho mandolina, ljubav mi nas nosi žar. Jer uz more kad zasvira tiho mandolina, ljubav mi nas nosi žar. S Bogom Dalmacijo, ljetujemo me kraj, u srcu nosim te svoj, adios, goodbye. Obalo sunčana, ti moj si cijeli svijet, adios, Dalmacijo, auf Wiedersehen. S Bogom Dalmacijo, ljetujemo me kraj, u srcu As we welcome our next speaker this evening, and I'd like you to give a very big warm welcome and round of applause to a great friend of the Croatian community, and that's the federal member for Caldwell, Dr. Andrew Theophilus.
Pozdravite pljeskom člana federalne vlade za Caldwell, doktora Andrewa Theophilusa.
Dobro večer.
His Excellency the Croatian Ambassador Dr. Joseph Petar, the Croatian Consul Robert Gercovich, the Australian President of the World Congress Ivan Zlatko, the Victorian President Ivan Gercovich, my parliamentary colleagues, the Honourable Don Nardella, Dick Derfegeli, Paul Jenkins, Barry Traynor, and the Labor candidate for the Ballarat province, Mrs. Diane Hatton, the Mayor of Ballarat, Ms. Judy Verlin, other distinguished guests, members of the Croatian community from all around Victoria and their friends. Thank you very much for receiving me here in this wonderful hall in Ballarat. And to those Croatian community in Ballarat, we greet you and we say to you, it's great that you've maintained the Croatian tradition here in the city of Ballarat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 150 years since the first Croatian came to Ballarat in search of a dream. And since that time, many Croatian people came to this country in search of a dream. But over that period of time, the Croatian people, for most of that time, they suffered because they were not recognized internationally, and the Croatian nation was not recognized until very recently. But not only was the Croatian nation not recognized, the Croatian people themselves were not recognized in various parts of the world, including in Australia. And I know that many of you who came as migrants, you were very upset and disappointed because this country did not recognize you as Croatian people. Nevertheless, and this is the good part, because of the work that we've all done together, and because of the work of the people of Croatia, but also because of the work of the Australian Croatian community, we were able to get the recognition of Croatia in 1992. And let me say to you, President Tudjman and every other minister, when I've been to Croatia, they say to me, give your thanks to the Croatian people in Australia for the help and assistance that they gave, because all together, including our parliamentary group in Canberra, we managed to make Australia the first non-European country to recognise Croatia. And ever since that recognition, the Croatian community here in Australia has gone from strength to strength. They have shown that they are part of the great Australian multicultural society, and they deserve that recognition. And your children have a great future here because they have been recognised. They can stand up and be proud to be Croatian Australians. But ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. We should not forget all the struggle of the older generation, the migrants who came after the Second World War, the Croatian people who now are getting older, and they need support. They need services from the government for themselves as they get older. Services provided in the Croatian language, such as, for example, Croatian aged care hostels and nursing homes to help them out. And I will be supporting that in the Parliament, and I have been, and I'll continue to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, before the election, with the help of His Excellency, Dr. Petar, who will be leaving us soon, but who's done a great job, and I think we should thank him for the great job he's done for the Croatian community and for Croatia here in Australia. Thank you, Dr. Petar. And one of the things that we did, and you need to know this, we went before the election, not just to the Labor Party, but also to the Liberal Party and the National Party and the Democrats, and we said to all of them, will you support the opening of an Australian embassy in Zagreb? Will you support it? And all political parties supported it. So an Australian embassy is going to open in Zagreb this year. Isn't that a wonderful achievement? Which goes to show that when the Croatian community is united and working together, they can get achievements from the Australian Parliament, from the Australian government and from the Victorian government. Now I say this also to you, we have one more very important thing to achieve. A social security agreement between Australia and Croatia. We need this agreement so that when our people go back to Croatia, if they wish to go back, or when Croatians come here to stay with their families, they can be protected under a social security agreement. We will work for this agreement to try and achieve that agreement this year. Let me conclude with this. Years ago when we fought the struggle, we said to people, beware of Slobodan Milosevic. Nobody listened to us. Look what's happening now in Europe because of Slobodan Milosevic. And I say to you that Croatia has played a very important role in this very difficult situation that exists now in Kosovo. And I want to thank you for the help and support, the Croatian government, for the help and support they're giving. I'm the Deputy Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the Parliament. Every day we hear about this very difficult situation. but I know that Croatia will be there to help to achieve peace and justice for the people of Kosovo. I want to conclude with this. Again, we all ought to be proud what we've all achieved, and we all want to work together in the future for the betterment of Croatia, the Croatian Australian community. Živela Hrvatska! Živela Croatian Australia!
Eureka Rebels from Ballarat, who are going to play some music from back in the mining era. Eureka Rebels.
I nakon vatrenog govora današnjice gospodina Indra Teofanosa vratimo se u prošlost i poslušajmo glazbu, bush glazba, ili kako već kaže, od Eureka Rebels.
Billy's Billy Boyle. Waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, Matilda, my darling. Waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, leading a walkman. Waltzing Matilda with me. Jump up to drink from the billboard. Jump swaggling, grabbed him with glee. He sang as he strode that jump up and he stuck a bag. Waltzing Matilda.
Please, for our next speaker this evening, I'd like to put your hands together and give a warm welcome, please, representing Mr. Steve Brack's State Opposition Leader, the Honourable Mr. Don Nardella.
Everybody, to the Ambassador, Mr. Joseph Menem, the President of the Australian Coalition Congress, Mr. Ivan Grabovac, Mr. Stefan Radic of the Australian Croatian Association, my parliamentary colleagues, the Honourable Dick DeFegley and his wife Ruth, Norm and Paul Jenkins, Barry Traynor and his wife Marg, the Honourable Dr. Andrew Theophanis and Catherine, Mr. Michael Ronaldson, and the Mayor, Ms. Judy Berlin, and Labor candidate for Ballarat Province, Diane Haddon, and honoured guests. I have a message from Mr. Steve Brack, the Labor opposition leader here in Victoria, and unfortunately he was not able to be here with you today, but this is the note that he has asked me to deliver for him. On behalf of the Parliamentary Labor Party, I'm delighted to extend my congratulations to the Victorian Croatian community and to celebrate 150 years of settlement and achievement. Australia is a country that has fundamentally been shaped by the processes of immigration and the contributions that migrants have made to the economic and cultural development of this country, which is enormous. The Croatian community is an integral part of Victoria's multicultural society, and the community deserves special recognition during this landmark anniversary. This celebration highlights the long historical presence of the Croatian community in Victoria. While most immigration from Croatia took place during the post-war years, the first Croatians to settle in Victoria arrived during the gold rushes of the 1850s. Most Victorians have embraced and are proud of the multicultural character of our society. However, many are not fully aware of the richness of Victoria's multicultural history. It is very important that we try to rediscover our multicultural past and to learn about early struggles and achievements of our various ethnic communities. Victorian Labor has a proud track record of advocating the benefits of immigration and of supporting multiculturalism. Labor is committed to working with the Croatian community to utilise all the talents and potential you have to offer. So on that basis, I personally wish you well in your celebrations at 150 years in Australia, and enjoy tonight. Thank you.
If anybody's interested in having a look, we have a Croatian artist here tonight who does Croatian naive art on glass. And I tell you what, I went in there yesterday, her name is Stephanie Gercovich, and I went in yesterday when she was putting up those pictures in there for the display, and you've got a chance to purchase the paintings. If you'd like to purchase some of the paintings, they are for sale, and 25% of all the takings from the paintings will go towards the Immigration Museum project. So if you'd like to go and have a look, there are some fantastic miner scenes, gold rush scenes, and it's all Croatian art on glass, and it's simply beautiful. And if anybody's interested in going to have a look at that, it's down the back of the hall near the last bar, right next door to the last bar. So go, do yourself a favour, go down there and have a look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, and now I'd like to also say, especially people here in Ballarat, let's give a big round of applause, please, for our great mayor of this great city, Ballarat, Councillor Judy Berlin.
Thank you, Ivan. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To Dr. Mehta, representatives of the consulate and local members of parliament and friends of the Croatian community. What a great night. What a great venue. And I congratulate all of those people who have done so much work to make sure tonight came to fruition. I would like to especially welcome the family, the Gercovich family, and I could ask them all to stand, please. And also, we've got the Radish family. Can they stand, please? Members of the Radish family. Very warm welcome to all of you. The city of Ballarat is extremely proud of its history, and I think there's nothing more than this building that describes Ballarat's history and the wealth of the goldfields. It's extremely important that we acknowledge the contribution of the Croatian community right back in the 1850s as part of the gold rush era in Ballarat. And I say a very happy celebration of 150 years to the Croatian community in Ballarat. Well done. We are very proud in Ballarat the fact that we are a multicultural community. We've got a lot to celebrate in the next couple of years. It's the celebration of the discovery of gold 150 years ago in the year 2001. We're celebrating tonight the celebration of the Croatian community for 150 years. The Croatian community were part of Victoria prior to the discovery of gold. That's an indication of how long we have been partners together. I'm very proud to stand before you as the Mayor of the City of Ballarat and to say thank you for your contribution to our community, to say have a really great night, enjoy your celebrations, and thank you for asking me to be part of your evening. Happy 150th Croatian community.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, just before we have folk dancing, is State Member for Ballarat West, Mr. Paul Jenkins.
I naš sljedeći govornik za večeras je gospodin Paul Jenkins, član Liberalne stranke Zapadnog Ballarata. Izvolite.
Thank you, Ivan, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To Madam Mayor, to Mr. Ambassador, I'll go singly to Ivan, to Boris, to Ivan, to Dr. Yozo, and a special welcome to a number of people who I know personally closely, the Gercovich family. I went to school with some of them, and it's great to catch up again tonight. And to some of our former neighbours who are here, I'm going to mention to Nora and Anna, Jeanette, Ines, Robert, Mario, Anita. They're all the neighbours who live next door to us for many, many years, and they've been great neighbours and great Australians and great Sebastians. Welcome. To all in the community, and especially the Ballarat Croatians, I can say you have been wonderful people in our city. You've done very, very well to blend in the community. Boris the concreter, everybody knows Boris Blue Star. and he's been a great tradesman. He's come into the place and really done a great part of Ballarat, left his mark everywhere. But many other tradesmen here, many other people who have been involved as Croatians and Australians and Ballaratites, and I think it's great. Now the Premier has asked me to say a few words of congratulations tonight on this special occasion of 150 years of Croatian people in Ballarat, and he asked me to pass his greetings on to you all, as did the other members of the Parliament. I do welcome especially, of course, our parliamentary colleagues, Dr Andrew, the Honourable Don, Honourable Dick, Barry Traynor, my colleague there, and I do appreciate the fact they had the invitation to come tonight. And I know you want to get on with the eating and enjoying the dancing, and I'd say thanks very much and congratulations once again to everybody for having a great night here in the Mining Exchange in Ballarat. Thank you.
The Croatian folkloric group Lado was formed in 1972 in Geelong. They have performed all over Australia, and last year they toured Croatia for the first time. They have performed for numerous charitable organisations, including the Red Cross. Currently, the majority of the singers and dancers in the group are second-generation Croatian Australians, and very much proud to be Australians of Croatian origin. Tonight, they will be performing for you a dance from a part of Croatia, Posavina. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for what I think, in my opinion, is the best folkloric group in Australia, Lado.
look, I know I look like idiot. I know that I look like idiot. But what's new? But I thought he was costume party. That's what I thought, it was costume, I came in costume. Everyone tell me you're gonna look like idiot, I said no, he's costume party, but I can't. I don't know, you know. But I don't know if you know, my great grand uncle, he was friends with Mr. Gercovich. He came here 1850 something, alright? My uncle, his name was Shime too, alright? His name was Shime. He was my grandfather brother. You understand? Anybody listening? You listening? Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. This one here, this is like back in the old days. They used to drink when they were mining. The copper thing full of gold. They used to drink rum. Doesn't matter, I put in rakia for myself anyway. Doesn't matter what I did, but it looks good, you know. But my grandfather's brother, Shime, his name was Shime like me, he came here in Ballarat in the 50s, 1850s, and he was miner. And he had wife, like my ex-wife, her name's Katica, but he had wife Kata. That's different. But one day, Shime, my uncle, great uncle, felt sick, alright? And so he sent Kata, the auntie, my auntie, to go instead to work. Anyway, the mine broke and she died. I know, it's a funny story, but anyway, she died. And what happened was, my great uncle, great, Shime, from Shibenik, he got compensation, compo. He got compo from Gold Union, Gold Digger Union. And back in those days, the only people who had a house were rich, you know, they lived in a tent, in a chateau. You know what that is? Tent, bloody. Anyway, so my great uncle Shime bought another chateau, another tent, and rented to Scotsmen. He rented and he made more money. And then he rented another one tent, another one tent. He had bloody 10 tents for rent. 1865. He had 10 tents for rent. But then my uncle, great uncle Shime got brainwave. He got to making more tents outside of Ballarat. And he went to this place, outside maybe 100 kilometers from Ballarat, and bought 10 tents there, and he had people renting. This place was called Shime Shine. Shime Shine. Later they changed to Sunshine. Why? That's my uncle's. He make it Shime Shine. Why they changed it to Sunshine? That's not fair. That's not fair. And you know what my uncle did? He made first Croatia soccer club over in Sunshine. He called it Shime Shine Knights. 1872 he made him. That's Melbourne Knights, they're not 40 years old, they're 100 and something years old. Because they were Shime Shine Knights. And now, tomorrow in Sunshine, they're gonna they're gonna make the name of the grandstand that I'm making Mark Vidulka stand. Why? My uncle was there first. Why not make him Shime stand? I was talking to Mr. Prime Minister, Johnny Howard, you know, Johnny Howard, little man. I talked to him, I said, why you not make Lot 2 Summer Street Sunshine sacred site for Croatian people? Why? Nobody listen to me, nobody take me serious. Oh, thanks, Mike. I didn't know. Thanks very much. Well, thanks. Put on your mind. Oh my God. But I don't know, right? I don't know, some of you might know that my wife, Katica, she left me. Yeah, I know, good for her. She went with my next door neighbor, Shane. She went with next door neighbor, Shane. Maybe you'll go too with Shane. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, she went with him. But my wife, Katica, she was idiot. She couldn't speak in English, right? One guy, I have my son, I have one son, his name Robert. He's alright, you know, good boy. But he had a friend, right, whose name was named Marcel. Yeah? And he ringing for my Robert, but no one was home except Katica. And he said, hello, is Robert there? My Katica say, no, he's not there. And she say, what's your name? Who's calling? He say, Marcel. She say, I know you by yourself, what's your name? Say, Marcel, I know you by yourself, what's your name? Marcel. She say, right, you idiot, and hang up on it. But that's the first time she muck up. She went once, right? Because you know when you're buying, because my wife, ex-wife, she liked to make sarma, right? Because I love sarma, I love it. And she wants to buy cabbage in the head, like head of cabbage. And when you want to buy it in Croatian, it's kupus u glavi, you know? And she went to shop and went to person and said, excuse me, do you have cabbage in the head? This person get upset, you know? What are you talking, cabbage in the head? She say, you know, cabbage in the head. She doesn't know, you know, what are you cabbage head? I don't know, my wife, she's stupid. So we went to English class and we learned to doing English. Anyway, we're doing this one and we're learning about tense. And we say past tense, you know, now tense and future tense. And like the teacher say to me, say, Shime, what tense? I'll give you a sentence, you tell me what tense. I say, all right. She say, Katica is beautiful. What tense is that? I say, oh, Katica beautiful. That's past. That's past tense, mate. That's cool. That was a long time ago. You know? I don't know. Oh, but anyway, we went on holiday once before, me and Katica. And before when we went, we didn't have straight flight to Zagreb, you know? We had to go to Germany. And we're flying over to Germany. And I say to hostess, stupid hostess, you know, I say to her, excuse me, what's this city we're flying over now? She say, Baden. I say, right, I'm not deaf, you tell me once, that's it. You don't have to tell me twice, name of city, you know? She's an idiot, brother. But my wife, right, she comes from Ditsmo. You know Ditsmo? That's where she was born, Katica. Yeah. And I went there to visit mother-in-law, her mother. She's a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. My mother-in-law in Ditsmo. Yeah. Anyway, she went there and she say, because she loved watermelon, and she say, yo, I give half my life for watermelon. I run straight to shop and buy two, you know? She's idiot, you know? I remember we went on a holiday to a hotel, all right? And in the hotel, she said, you know, we stayed there for a week, and then we come back, and he say, I go to the office, and I say, excuse me. I say, excuse me, can you give me bill? And he looks up, he says, all right, 700 marks for 2-bedroom, this and that, 1 week. I say, all right. Poof! 100 marks for you using spa and sauna. I say, ma kakav spa i sauna, I didn't touch sauna and spa. He say, mogo si. You could if you wanted. All right, he say, poof! 100 marks for you using tennis court. What are you talking tennis court, I say to him. I don't touch tennis court, never hold racket in my life. He said, doesn't matter, mogo si. If you good, if you want it. Plus 100 marks for you using the heated pool. I say, mate, I didn't touch pool, I went to the beach like everyone else. He say, mogo si, you're good if you want it. I said, listen, mate, give me the bill, give me this rachun, come on, give it to me, I fix him up. I say 700 Deutsch marks for you, double bedroom, whatever, this and that. He say, yeah, all right. Važi. Plus $300 for this crap you put on. He say, yeah, all right. I say, minus 300 mark for you sleeping with my wife, Katica. He say, I don't touch your wife, Katica. I say, mogo si, you could if you want it. That's it, 700 marks, then line, let's go home. But then we went to Francuska, we went to France. We went there. And I was sitting down in the restaurant. And I didn't know, the menu, And I see next man next to me, he's eating gra. The bean soup, gra. I go, that's beautiful, I want that, but I don't know how to speak in French. And then the waiter come back to him, he say, répétez, répétez. And bring him again, gra. I say, aha, that's how you say gra in French. Répétez. So waiter come up to me and he say, what you want? In French. I don't know what he said, I can't speak French. He say, what you want? I say, répétez. He look at me and bring me gra. I say, good, beautiful, bean soup, I eat, it was beautiful. Next day, me and Katica were hungry and we went again to restaurant. And we went there again, and then we go, Katica, don't worry, I know it French. All right? I'm gonna give it répétez. Répétez is for gra, you'll see. And the waiter comes, same waiter from yesterday, coming and he say, what you want it? I say, répétez. He bring two gra. I say to Katica, you see how I know French, Vidiš? And then the man come up to me and say, smokvo bi ti dobija da ti ja nisam iz Dicma. Fair chance you getting anything if I wasn't from Croatia, Idiot, bloody. But now my wife leave me and I'm lost. I don't know what to do without Katica, She's gone. I can't even buy shoes. I go to shoe shop. I go, give me size 10. I put it on too tight. Man come up to me, he say, take tongue out, put your tongue out, and maybe it fit. So I do it, he come back, he say, how is it now? I say, still too tight. Sorry, still too tight. You understand? No, probably not. Doesn't matter. But I can't even get food now because I can't cook. She used to cook for me. Sarma used to cook for me. Paprika, she used to cook for me. Chupte used to cook for me, everything. I have nothing. And I walk down the street, don't know what to eat. I see hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. I don't know what it is, hot dog. So I go to my mate, Mate, and I say, Mate, what's this one, hot dog? He say, vrući pas. That's hot dog, vrući pas. So I go there, and I'm thinking, what's wrong with these people that are eating the dog? All right, eat dog, I don't care. I think maybe if everyone look healthy, if they eat dog, I can eat just once dog, what's the big deal? So I go buying hot dog, I say, man, please give me one hot dog. He say, all right, no worry. He give it to me, I was in the shock. I turn around, I say, why you give me worst part of hot dog? Idiot! I didn't understand. Later on I learned that hot dog is different. That's like sausage. I didn't know. Oh, but anyway. But let me tell you now, on the serious note, what Mr. Theoponos say, everyone say before about Croatia and Croatian people. Let me tell you, Mr. Gercovich is symbol of what Croatian people is here in Australia. You know why? Because we came here because we're under rule from Turks, we're under rule from Austria, under rule from Hungary, under rule from Serbia, under rule from everything. Because we come here, we want free country. We want free because we peaceful people. We love peace. And it took 150 years, and he came here because he wanted peace. He didn't want to be told what to do. And now it took 9 years ago, 1990, 91, 92, we finally got free Croatia. You know why they recognize first in Australia, first non-European country? You know why? Because of us here in Australia, us Croatian people, us migrants. That is your trust. You should thank yourself, not politician. That's you. That's for you. You made it. Thank you very much. Svaka ti čast. Laku noć.
Let's give Shime a good round of applause, please. Shime. See you later, Shime. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like now to really ask you to give us your full attention, please. Because the next speaker I'm going to invite onto the stage right now is from the Gercovich family and a person who helped us a lot to do our research and find out about the Gercovich family. And I'd like to introduce to you, please, hello, attention please. I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Stephen Gercovich.
Good evening all. I stand before you tonight, a fifth generation Australian. I look at what I'm seeing and I realise that a lot of what Australia is today has come from what it has made up in the past. The multiculturalism, the history, our origins have all led to what we are today. A lot of you that I've spoken to have shown concern that they're worried that their children won't remember the past. I'm 5 generations down the line. I represent to you what the future holds for your children. You do have the reassurance that no matter how far down the line, there is always an interest in what our past was. It is only through realising what our past was that we can continue along the path that we go along in the future. I've seen tonight the very core of Australian society. I've seen the freedom that we have in Australia through the Croatian community. I've seen the warmth and the friendship that we have within Australian society, within the Croatian community. You have all made our family very welcome back into the Croatian community. We can never thank you enough for what you have been able to do for us. Speaker after speaker has thanked us. It is the other way around. As a family, we must thank you, the Croatian community, for showing us what part of our identity is, part of what our past is, and realising why Australia is today the place that it is. Once again, for what you have done for my family, from my heart, from my family, from my children, for my future generations, I thank you all very much for what you have been able to do for us and Australia. Please, don't think that you are not recognised. I've heard stories of these bloody new Australians. That is a culture from the 50s, the 60s and the 70s. Australia today recognises its past, wants to acknowledge its past, and are very proud to be part of the new immigration way that have come to Australia to make Australia what it is. Thank you. Thank you all. Fala, 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 fala.
ladies and gentlemen, I think that deserves the biggest round of applause from this hall. Let's bring the roof off this place, what this person just said. I think he deserves that we all stand up and give him a standing ovation for his words. Please, everybody, stand up and applaud this gentleman, Mr. Stephen Gercovich. Thank you very much. We'll be back with some music very shortly.